Y'all, why am I so extra? I have water and I have coffee. Not only do we need caffeine, we need hydration. Guys, it's Jamila. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about the one book I completed in the month of September, which is the first book I've completed this whole year. Kudos to me. Excuse me if you see any mess in the back. I didn't have time to clean up before this video, but today we're doing our September wrap up. I know the turnaround was very quick from the TBR to the wrap up, and let me tell you, I am here to disappoint. And then we're also going to talk about some books that I'm currently reading and how I'm progressing with them and my thoughts on them, because why not? First, we're starting off with The 100,000 Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin. I ended up rating this book 4 stars. I've sat on it for a couple days and I definitely think it's 4 stars because I still think about it and I'm still thinking about like how it all came together and how it ended. But this is a book that I restarted 2 times, and I know that sounds bad, but I think my brain just had to like get with the writing and the storytelling and everything like that. So just to start off, this book is about a woman named Ine Dar, and she's like an outcast. Her mother was royalty and her mother ended up marrying a commoner. So she's outcasted from this high society, and this society resides in the kingdom of Sky, which is literally like a floating kingdom in the sky. And she actually is called back to this kingdom to be in the running to become the next heir to her grandfather's throne. So she goes because her mom is dead and she's trying to figure out what happened to her mom. And there's just a lot of like very interesting elements to the story, specifically that there are these beings who, after this war, like this all-out war that happened like 1,000 years ago, they have been enslaved by the ruling AIRBENDER people who are on the throne. But these beings that are enslaved by these mortals, they are like super powerful, and there's specifically this one character named Nahadoth, and he is like this dark shadow wielding dude who's like only allowed so much reach because, like I said, they're enslaved. So what I ended up not expecting with this book was to love it, because to be honest, starting off in the beginning, I was a little lost in the sauce. I wasn't sure about it. Like, I really did like the tone and the storytelling, and it was a little bit confusing like how the story was being told at first. Once I restarted it for this, was it the second time, I feel like it was starting to click better, because there's like this main voice and then this voice in Yine's head, like it's I don't know how to explain it. This is hard to explain, but this was my first N.K. Jemisin book, and by the end of it I was just completely enamored with all the characters. I was like, oh my god, I didn't expect this to be like a dark kind of love story in it. Like, I did not expect that epic kind of love type thing going on, but baby did I eat it up. Like, once we got to the end and things started like settling in, you would not expect how it just hits you in the chest. I thoroughly enjoyed specifically the second half of this book. I feel like there were so many twisty turny moments that I just really loved, and it has like that Strange the Dreamer vibe, but more complex and more grown up, I would say. I am actually very excited to continue. I definitely recommend looking up a summary that is not coming out of my mouth, because I am terrible at explaining things in a way that makes it interesting and would make you want to pick it up. There are 2 more books in this trilogy, so I'm hyped for it, and I've heard that the characters in this book appear in the next 2, so that's gonna be interesting for sure, because I fell in love with a couple characters in this. So yeah, but yeah, this is the only book I finished, and I'm happy. It was like a book that I actually read till the end. That's exciting. But I did tab it. I didn't annotate it, but I did tab it because there were some moments and there was information that needed to be marked. But yes, very enjoyable. Thank you, Monet, for sending me this. Really appreciate you. Very much enjoyed it. Very happy I finally finished it. Took me 10,000 years, but worth it. Very much worth it. It was more my reading slump than anything else. It's so funny, I'm sitting here filming and like literally anyone could be watching me right now because I have like the entire window open. So that's a thing. Okay, so I kind of forgot I wanted to talk about this, but the next book I want to talk about is The Broken Kingdoms, which is the second book in the Inheritance. I think it's called the Inheritance trilogy, but yeah, you know, the next in the series that I was talking about. I actually did start this last night. I started it after I finished the first book in the series, but I'm about 60 pages into it, and I can tell that this one's gonna be good too. I can just tell. I already like the vibes. In this one, we're following a whole different character, and even though it is still connected to the Kingdom of Sky, we are not in Sky anymore. We're down below in the Shadow City. I think that's what it's called. And we're following a whole different character, a different vibe. The main character in this book, her name is Ori, and she is blind and she can only see magic. It's very interesting so far. And I think there's gonna be like a romance element to this one because we follow a certain character that was in the first book, and he has to, I don't know if that's a spoiler, he has to do something specific in order to redeem himself. So this is exciting me. I definitely think that right off the bat it has some elements that I definitely enjoy, just yes. But pretty much Ori takes in this homeless man. That's pretty much, like, she takes in this homeless man, and it comes with consequences for sure. Like at first it just seems really harmless, and then it keeps hitting the fan. Things are getting crazier and crazier the more I read. I'm loving it here, honestly. I'm hoping to finish this one in October, even though I did not have this on my TBR. But let's talk about some books that I did have on my TBR. All right, so I'm still working on my tandem read of Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms. I'm still working on it. I am about 50% or more of the way through Tower of Dawn and a little under 50, I think, for Empire of Storms. Okay, so the problem is I'm kind of slowing down on this one. Like, I had the momentum at first, but I'm not gonna lie, like I'm at a part in both books where it's kind of slow for me. I will say though, as far as Tower of Dawn, I'm definitely most invested in Sartok and Nesrin's storyline. I like their storyline. I'm very nervous about liking their storyline though, because I feel like anytime I like or enjoy certain characters, like the author toys with that, and I don't like that. But as far as Irene and Kale, I'm so sorry. The relationship that is happening with them, I don't know what it is about it, but I'm not sold. Maybe it's just because I don't like Kale. Like, if Irene was, I don't know, I just feel like there needs to be more going on just with their whole storyline and their whole perspective parts of the book. Like, I'm just not as interested, which is crazy because this whole book is about Kale. So I feel like I should be more inclined. And everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people say, like, read Tower of Dawn, like it's gonna redeem Kale for you. I don't like Kale, and I don't think that's really gonna change, because the same thing happened with A Court of Silver Flames. Everybody's like, you're gonna love Nesta by the end of this book, you're gonna understand her, and I still was kind of like I get it, but I don't think I like her like that. But I was thinking maybe I would like her more upon a reread. We'll see one day. I feel like I'm not connecting. By the way, this is the 7th book in the Throne of Glass series, and this one is the 6th book, I believe. Yeah, we're gonna say the 6th book. I'm starting to get interested in the Elide and Lorcan point of views it's starting to get a little more interesting to me. I like that Alid is she's not just this little, oh, I had a hard life, so I'm just this meek character who doesn't know how to survive. Like, sis has really learned how to visibly shrink herself, but she's still like mentally powerful. Did I say that right? I love that for her. I think that she deserves the world, honestly, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I definitely like Alid. I think that Lorcan is old and very funny in his own way. I did realize I am not the biggest fan of Adian so far, so we'll see how that goes. Like, okay, let me say it like this. I like Adian, but he's definitely not my favorite character, and I'm hoping that that will change by the end of this book. We're not going to talk about Aelin or Rowan or any of that, because there's going to be a Throne of Glass like reading vlog eventually. But yeah, we'll get into it. Okay, next, I have convinced most of my family book club to get back into reading, so we're gonna try again. But I got further into this one, about 200 pages now. It's been many years since I've reread this one, so I actually am having a pretty good time with it, especially having family involved. It's exciting to get your family to read when they don't normally read. And then last but not least, I started rereading Cersei because I just needed like an audiobook that was familiar and that I already knew the story of, and just something to listen to. I definitely have been enjoying so far. If you're looking for a book that the audiobook is just butter, like the woman who narrates the audiobook has like the smoothest, perfectest voice for this story. It's amazing. Like, I actually went and looked to see if she narrated anything else, and it doesn't look like she did, but so good. The way this story is told is just perfect for my ADHD brain. Like, I love the way it like hops around, if that makes sense. Like, I love this so much. So I'm kind of rereading this loosely. It's like not even a priority, it's just like something to read. That's my September wrap up and the books that I'm currently in the middle of, and I'm enjoying it a lot. Thank you guys. You guys definitely have been an encouragement for me to actually find the time to read. So thank you. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below what was your favorite book from September that you read, because I would love to hear like you guys gush about your favorite books. Bye.